Blessings. Welcome to Team Angie, team member Aaron Glenn, and private personal consultant. Also, advocate for mental health awareness as well. And I'd like to start out by putting positive vibes out into the universe. By doing so, I read from my daily book of inspiration called Enjoying Peace in His Presence, Jesus Calling, written by Sarah Young. This is the word for November the 22nd, 2025, Saturday. Felicia Sabado. Come on to there. How's it going, everyone? Here's the word for you. Positive word for November the 22nd, this weekend. A thankful attitude opens windows of heaven. Spiritual blessings fall freely unto you, though those openings into eternity, through those openings into eternity. Moreover, as you look up with a grateful heart, you get glimpse of glory through those windows. You cannot live yet, you cannot yet live in heaven, but you can experience foretastes of your ultimate home. Such samples of heavenly fare revive your hope. Thankfulness opens you up to those experiences, which then provide further reasons to be grateful. Thus, your path becomes an upward spiral, ever increasing in gladness. Thankfulness is not some sort of magic formula, it is the language of love, which enables you to communicate intimately with me. A thankful mindset does not entail a denial of reality with its plethora of problems. Instead, it rejoices in me, your Savior, in the midst of trials and tribulations. I am your refuge and strength, and ever present, and will provide help in trouble. And that was inspired from the book of Psalms, chapter 46, verse 1. That message in particular. I am your refuge and strength, and ever present, and will provide help in trouble. I read this a lot of times incarcerated. Those are hard times, county jail, whatever, right? It's often a place where you find yourself getting closer to God or running further away. And nevertheless, this reading was inspired by the book of Habakkuk. Habakkuk, I believe I pronounced that right, chapter 3, verse 17 to 18. I haven't read this book before, Habakkuk, but um, let me see if I can twist my camera around. Maybe I can, maybe I can. I don't know. But I'm not gonna worry about that. Wait, hold on. Let me try real quick because I haven't done this one in a while. Um, it's getting sticky. Let me see. Okay, cool. I got it figured out now. It's been a little while, but you don't use something, you lose something. That's for sure. Italian can learning skills, you have to utilize them day to day. Learning how to create an email list and learning how to do all type of stuff. It's a little backwards. I don't like how this is really showing, but this is for November the 22nd. I'm gonna share a story with a friend of mine who's talking about paranormal. Chicago. Chicago, right? You wouldn't think that this place has wild, crazy things going on, but nevertheless, it does. And before I share her story, I want to share one of my stories I've experienced in Chicago, inside the south side of Chicago, also just in Illinois, period. My time from Illinois, west side of Chicago. I've been all up and down the map, like the back of my hand. But anyway, this was when was this? I'm not exactly sure the year, but I know that year my grandmother had passed away. My grandmother Glenn, and it was, I think, like the first snowstorm of that year. All I remember was it was a tough morning. We shoveled our way out of the house, and when the funeral was over with, I remember getting back home, and we had to shovel our way back in the house. The snow was just so high; it took the whole family, every shovel, everything we had. We was out there sweating real bad and almost about to get sick just trying to get in the house. And thankfully, um, what they say, like the all state, a neighbor indeed is a neighbor something, whatever, right? It was good to have nice neighbors that come through with their little machines and help us tackle that task. But anyway, nevertheless, during that time, which I didn't mention yet, we spent a little time at my grandmother's house. She stayed in Calumet City. This is South Side Chicago, like in the hundreds. Um, we was at her house. She had just passed, and we were like getting together or whatnot. This was before 2012 because I remember my sister Angela was still alive. She passed away 2011, December 6th, 2011. So this was before 2011, maybe 2009, maybe 2010, whatever. But my sister passed away 2011, and this happened before that, one of those winters. So um, at my grandma's house, coming inside from outside, some lead me to the back of her like the back of the house where the back door is, and she got like a two-story home, a multi-family home as a thing upstairs and one downstairs. Downstairs, my uncle stays. He owns that house down there. My grandma stay upstairs, and they share an inside door from the front that leads into the upstairs or downstairs doors, and also from the back to come in the back to go upstairs or downstairs. And there's like a screen door in the front and a screen door in the back. But anyway, I was going to the back to make sure that the door was closed because I felt it was open. But when I get back there, the the doors was closed. But in that hallway, sitting on the coat rack was this shadow man. He had blue eyes. He was all black, and I really couldn't believe my eyes what I was seeing. I was like, hold on. You know the outlines of something in the darkness. You'll see like a coat figure or whatever, right? So I'm like, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe those are one of the coats. But then I look a little closely because I haven't moved inside of this room. I'm just looking in the doorway to the next doorway to make sure that the door is closed. Not looking down and around the stairs as well. So I like on my peripheral, I'm seeing this figure just sitting on the coat rack. And then I'm like, oh no, nah, he just sitting there staring straight. And then I see his blue eyes, just like if you could see my eyes, but if you see me all black, kind of like see-through. So I was like, what the hell? Like, what? It was so scary. I never ever seen anything like this. I didn't know what this thing was. I've had paranormal experiences before, seeing different things, but this is something that I have never seen before. I've experienced sleep paralysis before this. So what I've experienced with that was totally different. The image, the thing that I seen, it was totally different, frightening nevertheless. But this thing here was not a dream. It wasn't a sleep paralysis. It was a regular part of the day, like 8 p.m. at nighttime. And this thing was in the house, sitting in the back of the house, and the stairway, like a back hall stairway. Years later, fast forward, I heard that this thing was a shadow person. You could look it up and see about that. But yeah, it was my first time experiencing something like that. And this here is more so about tales from Chicago. Let me know if you guys ever heard of or seen a shadow person. Kind of weird, kind of I don't know the history of them, but they're like cryptoids. Kind of like the boogeyman and all that type of stuff. This girl here is named the Black Cauldron. She pretty dope. She like this type of stuff. She be scared too as well, like I do, but it's a thrill, right? About his paranormal experience. I don't like nobody wants to talk about it. We need to talk about more paranormal activity that happens in the hood. Because, baby, I was born and raised in the hood. Born and raised. But the thing is, baby, I experienced some paranormal activity. I've seen some scary ass shit. Because, especially with certain places that were gang affiliated, because some of them gangs would know for practicing dark magic, black magic. They would know we're doing for evil ass shit, some demonic ass shit. And I've seen some things. Like, we need to talk about it. Oh, yeah. Clock that T, because a lot of people don't realize whenever you are gang affiliated, whether it is Vice Lords, Bloods, Crips, whatever, right? A lot. Before she, I'm gonna let her finish. But she is definitely right. Like if you even think about it, like this stuff, gang banging, all of that affiliation type stuff, is really cult type activity and demonic activity. When you think about these signs and symbols, they all come from Greek and pagan gods. And when you really realize what you're into paganism. A lot of these things seem cool. I mean, to be with your peers and also peer pressure as well. You'll get into what's it called? It's basically where majority rule is called social compliance. And what this means is, if you ever seen a video, this is social compliance. You will have 10 people maybe in a waiting room, and one person gets up whenever a new hour starts or whatever. 20 minutes start. Every 10 minutes, somebody gets up, and then everybody starts realizing what's going on. Every 10 minutes, everybody's getting up except for one person. It starts off with one person, then all of a sudden everybody else is doing. This is social compliance. Or just like you at a party, everybody's standing around the walls. Now all of a sudden one person gets jiggy, they gets to dancing. Now everybody is dancing. That's social compliance. Not saying anything wrong with it, but it can become a problem depending on the influence of that environment and what's going on. And this brings back to gang banging. When certain people are around, they ask you if you're well. If not well, then it's a mission to go get straight and aid and assist until you're straight for that day. So those type of things are bad social compliance and influences into doing these demonic type of things, activities, living lawless, right? But that's just my take on it. Let's see what she has to say. But yeah, be your own mind. Think for yourself, man. This world is a fallen place and they're leading everybody to damnation. It's a wide road to hell, but it's a short, narrow road to the gates of heaven. It's a hard choice to choose every day.
A lot of the shit that they be doing are rituals, blood sacrifices, demonic shit. There is certain protection magic and cloaking magic that these people do. And some of it be unintentional. When people are in gangs, they essentially make a deal with the devil. They essentially make a deal with the devil himself. Because there's no way that a bunch of little YNs can get away with murdering several people and not get caught.
Yeah, that's the devil's word.
I'm not saying everybody don't get caught. Obviously, people do. But there are people that I know, gangs that I know, that they don't go to jail. The higher up, the highest, the kingpin, he don't go to jail.
And don't be fooled either. Most time he's the feds, CIA, informant. And he's going to keep doing what he's doing while he's taking down everybody else. Nobody's exempt from being dealt with consequences. So don't ever get that wrong. You could be a gang leader or whatever you want to be, but those consequences are waiting on you.
He have one of his little...
You see Diddy, right? Diddy made, man, all this money, but money can't even stop your consequences. He's currently not able to do much, which I don't blame the man. I'm not here to talk about him. It's just an example. Nobody's perfect. We're going to mess up and make mistakes. And the Bible says we fall 6 times, but we get back up 7. For those of you who want to continuously strive and learn from mistakes and failure, because it's not about the failure itself. It's about the resistance to be in that position and learn from it and keep going. That's what this journey, Team Angie, is about. Failing all the time, not letting these failures be my final destination and or a story. So yeah, this is the great comeback.
He has somebody else go for him, but they're untouchable in some cases. This next creator goes under trippy peasy, and she's talking about the time that she partied all night, was walking home inebriated, and ran into an old friend. And another thing, I seen y'all talk about y'all paranormal experience.
Oh yeah, y'all make sure y'all follow her too. I'm about to cut this off. It's the Black Cauldron. She's really, really dope. The Black Cauldron. I love her content. I follow her as well.
In the hood, and I just want to talk about mine. It's really true that most of the paranormal experiences be happening in the hood. So much negativity and chaos that go in the hood. So why wouldn't it be a breeding ground for paranormal activity? All right, so this happened around 2012. When I was leaving my hood in Southeast called the Deuce, and I was going back to my grandma's house, who happened to live on MLK. So I used to usually walk around 22nd to MLK. That's like a 12, 15-minute walk. So this night don't make it any different. It was a nice night around my hood. I decided to leave. I'm drunk. I'm tipsy. I'm zooted, basically. It's a summer night, and everybody knows the summertime people be outside. I get over there by Congress High Station. If you know, you know. It's a little cut right there that you can walk through, and it'll take you right there to the top part MLK right there by the Popeye. You know, around this time we had phones. I ain't gonna lie, we had phones, but like social media wasn't popping like it is now. It was just like with Instagram, you could just put the pictures and stuff up. Like people wasn't doing stuff like story times. We wasn't doing stuff like this. This was foreign to us, right? So I ain't gonna lie, like so I'm by myself basically. I don't have a phone I'm walking. Now I ain't gonna lie, I started to feel funny. I just do like if you spiritual, you know. I just started to feel a head standing on the back of my neck. Mind you, it's like 12, 1 o'clock, and I gotta go through this alley to get to the main street. Now the way it is, y'all, you could go through this little alley part, right?
She sound like she from New York and migrated to the Midwest because we don't say alley. We she from that alley. Her ass like to roll through the alleys.
You could walk straight down Alabama Avenue. It's gonna take you about 15 minutes, 3 blocks, and then right to get to where you're going. But if you cut through the alley, you will get there like 5 minutes, right? So I'm like, I'm debating because I'm by myself. I usually don't even walk through the alley this late alone by myself, but I'm not trying to walk all the way around. I'm already drunk. Now, I'm going through the alley or whatever. So, well, this is the scary part, y'all. Why I see somebody I knew, like knew, right? So, I'm talking to Brett, like, I tried down. One thing is Southeast, when you come up on your man, you dap him up. I try to dap this man up. He didn't dap me back up, but he's still talking to me like, man, yeah, what's up? What's up, Pooh? Just talking to me or whatever, right? So I walk through the alley with him, y'all, or whatever. Walk to the end of the alley. He go where he going at, right? Once we get to where we going, he go to the left. I keep going straight because I live you straight and you make the slight left or whatever, right? I'm coming to find out, y'all. Later that day or whatever, the next day I woke up or whatever, why they said that man was over there in the alley, had OD. So the man wasn't never alive, y'all. The nigga who met me in the alley was never alive. He was already gone, but he still made sure that I made it safe out that alley, man. One thing I can say, the paranormal experience be real. To this day, I still think something sinister could have happened if he did not meet me in the spiritual realm and walk me through that alley. Ain't no telling what was down there waiting for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just saying that to say this: that paranormal things happen in the community more than you realize, and the hood at that.
What you mean he had OD and he was already dead? This next creator goes under the joke and he's telling a story about when he was a little boy and he used to go over his play auntie house and see certain things.
I just seen a story where they're talking about paranormal activity in the hood, and I'm gonna tell my story. Here we go.
Y'all surprised all these black folks had these paranormal activities? I mean, experiences.
If y'all from Durham, North Carolina, y'all know it's a handful of projects that was set up. Okay, the one I'm talking about today is Matt Dougal Terrace. Okay, if you know, you know Matt Dougal Terrace. Okay, now boom, I was born in '96. Okay, when I was in Matt Dougal and I experienced the experience I'm about to talk about, I was maybe.
These niggas be flamboyant than a motherfucker.
Now,
you might as well just be a girl at this point.
Listen, here we go. So it's probably like early 2000s, probably 2002, 2001. All right?
Sometimes you don't even know a nigga gay till they start talking. The nose ring was already suspect. Then you got the little nail. Shit crazy, but no judgment. But it's just crazy, man. Like, be who you is. If you want to be a girl, be a girl. I respect them niggas more than this.
Now, all right. My mama and her friends grew up together. If y'all know, okay? If your mama grew up with somebody in the hood, a girl,
Joanne,
best friends, whatever, that's your auntie. Okay? So I was at my auntie house. All right? In Matt Dougal Terrace. I remember the unit. I remember all that to this day. I could walk back and go back to that house right now. So my age at this point in time is not relevant, okay, to the story. So don't be saying I was too young to not know what to know what I seen or whatever case may be. I was not hallucinating. I know exactly what the fuck I saw. Okay?
I might be starting soon. My background.
So we stand there. Now I always had a eerie feeling. I used to always I used to always want to be up under my mama. Okay, I don't know. I feel like early on I always like felt and seen things that I was just more spiritually connected. All right, and I don't care what nobody say. I know this for a fact. All right, Now, this particular
That's
night,
been.
everybody in that motherfucker was asleep but me. I had a hard time sleeping there. That's why I used to tell my mom I used to cry. Do not drop me off there. I always felt something off.
He's like, bitch.
Now,
Yeah.
we sleep. We live around.
She looking for you just to say,
Right.
yo, mama want you. Yeah. I was like,
You
damn.
know how it used to be. Everybody laid out on the pallet. Everybody got their pallets out. We there. It was too many kids for everybody to have a bed. So we laid out on the pallets. All right. I'm in here supposed to be asleep. I couldn't sleep. For some reason, I could not sleep. All right. I got up.
What page was that? Texas.
I'm looking at the cabinets. As I'm looking at the cabinets,
Oh. That ain't little man.
I see a face
That nigga look just like
in
him.
every one of the cabinets above the stove. I seen a face. Different faces. People. I was terrified. People in the cabinets. Faces in the cabinets. Okay? Mind you, I in the projects that we was staying in. We stayed in
Damn,
Oxford Manor, Bradtown.